you have actually taken a picture. I know that some of you have. You've taken pictures with them. Well, to encourage you to do that, I hear there was an on-the-site reporter this afternoon that made a short video. So if you want to go ahead and hit that video, that'd be great. That'd be great. Word on the street is that place, Calvary Chapel Community Church, is a great place to grow in your relationship with the Lord. Because you know what they have there? They have sound Bible teaching. They have Jesus-centered worship, and they have loving people. You don't always find all three of those in all churches, so come and check us out. That's the current series at Calvary Chapel Community Church, teaching you the essentials of the Christian faith, what every believer needs to know. We need to know what we believe and why we believe it. That's it. This Saturday, that's going to be an incredible marriage conference with Pastor Brian Michaels and his bride Janine. Hope you can make it. And there it is. Come and be a part of today's Jesus Revolution. You want to be a rebel for something? How about being a rebel for Jesus? Sign me up. Rebel for Jesus. Jesus freak. Right here. All right. See you next time. All right. So the whole, praise the Lord, huh? So the whole, 4 people like that. Thank you. Thank you for that sitting ovation, by the way. So the goal is, we've only got them up for another couple weeks, and those things aren't cheap, so make sure that you go and make the most creative picture. These are some of the ones that we've had turned in. Can you go ahead and hit that? Okay. Have you seen those? Do you recognize any of those people? Good job. Okay, go to the next one. Do you guys recognize any of those people in there? That was us. That is you guys, huh? All right, go ahead, hit the next one. Yeah. Lorenzo, pretty good. Look what Victoria's doing, holding up the sign. Whoop, whoop. All right. Keep going. Do the next one. All right, now, I'm not sure. I don't have a great explanation. Hit the next one. But you got to give him an A for effort. And this last one, can you hit that one? I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's how they show you how to wear a tutu on a box, right? Who would know how to wear a tutu? Daniel, do you know how to wear a tutu? That would be negatory. Excellent answer from a South Dakotan. So again, go and take a picture with those in the background. We've only got like a week and a half left. So I've got a prize. I've got a couple of prizes for the best ones. And with that, wait, do you hear that? I hear a song coming. Do you hear that? You guys ready for a song?
Welcome everybody to our Awana's ceremony. We get to do graduation today. It's very exciting. What are you guys saying? Is there somebody behind me? Is there someone behind me? Ah! Oh man, that was scary. You're like a giant. Can I shake your hand? Thank you so much, Cubby Bear. Can everybody say hi? Hi. Cubby Bear's been making a lot of visits for us, and it's been really cool. So very nice to see you. All right. Now, I think Mr. Cubby Bear's gonna shake some hands a little bit later and things like that, but he's got to go in the back right now because I don't want a bear to eat me while I'm talking to you guys. It's never good. All right, so welcome everybody. I'm going to make sure this thing's on. We welcome you to our Awana ceremony. After a full year in Awanas, we get to be unified with all of those other kids that were up there. They were in their Awana programs in their own countries, in their own places. It's really cool. And so, we get to start with My God is the King of Me. So, we've been practicing this song, if I'm not mistaken. So, kiddos, stand up. And can I get a few kids to come up here and lead everybody? Because many of the adults don't know how to do it. Let's see. Cadence, come on up. Jaden, come on up. All right, can I get two more people that can lead us? Come on up. And come on up. Yeah. All right. And I'm going to step out of the way so they can sing it. All right. And are we ready for it to play? Okay, guys.
My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. Have you heard the story about my friend King Dave? Wouldn't let the giant stand in his way. He said, hand me my sling, cause he's not that tall. My God is bigger and I watch him fall. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. Have you heard the one about this guy called Dan? Yes, he was a mighty holy praying man. They said throw him to the den of the scary beasts. But God saved a hero from the lion's teeth. Yeah! My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. This is more than history. He will do the same for me. Like Jonah and the whale at sea. When I'm lost and afraid, all alone in the dark, you're with me. Oh, you're with me. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. My God's the King of the giants. My God's the King of the lions. My God's the King of the creatures of the deep. My God's the King of me. My God's the King of me.
All right, thank you. You guys can go sit back down. Okay. Go sit back down real quick. It's kind of scary being up on this stage. Forgot this. just to do all the motions for it. All right. Well, as we get to finish up Awanas, we have one last lesson for you, and it's all about facing giants. All about facing giants. And my name is Michael N.K. I am the director of the Trek group. That's the oldest kids in Awanas. And so this year, we've been going through the book of Acts and Trek, specifically in how God leads the disciples to preach the gospel to Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria, and to the outer ends of the world. And so, as a result, today, we just get to talk about facing some of those giants that we will do as we go out and serve. So, the giants we're talking about are not these guys. Those aren't the giants we're talking about, and we're not talking about those giants. While I was living in California, I didn't even know these giants existed. All right. They are a little scary. If you get 53 of them running towards you at once, it's probably a little scary, but they're not that scary. Real giants are very, very scary, okay? This is one of the most recent giants. His name is Andre the Giant. He was 7 feet 4 inches tall, and he weighed 540 pounds. He was very much a giant. But he's even smaller than Goliath was, okay? He's known as the gentle giant, but whenever he wanted to get angry, he could get very scary. I mean, he could hold another person's head in the palm of his hand. He was that big. Giants are very scary. As a matter of fact, they were so scary, in Numbers 13, Israel sent spies into the land of Canaan to spy it out. And one thing that they came back noticing is that there are a lot of big, scary giants there. They were called the sons of Anak. And they were so afraid that they decided to turn away from going into the land of Canaan. And they were like, you know what's better? Slavery. It's better than fighting our giants in the land of Canaan. They were very afraid of giants. They had fee-fi phobia. All right. We don't have many physical giants in our lives anymore. Andre the Giant sadly passed away in 1993 whenever I was 7 years old. He was so cool. One of my favorite movies he's in. But the giants we have in our life are selfishness, not wanting to give things and to share with others and to give things to others. Their pride, thinking you're better than other people, you're better than other things. Disobedience, choosing not to obey our parents, our families, or obey the Lord. One giant is failure. I don't want to try this because I'll fail. That is a big, scary thing. Jealousy. That was one my son reminded me of. Jealousy can be quite a giant. Just destroys so much of our lives. For adults, responsibility. As I became a father and everything, just that giant of responsibility really weighed heavily on me. Fear. That's a big one. And many other giants that we have in our lives. So how do we face these giants? Well, we do the same thing. Girls, thank you. We do the same thing that David did, that the first giant killer really did. So what did David do? And we're going to read just a small section from 1 Samuel 17. If you have a Bible, you can go to verses 45 through 47. Thank you. And in verse 45, it just begins with, "And David said to the Philistine, 'You come at me with a sword, a spear, and with a javelin, but I come at you in the name of the Lord of hosts, the God of the armies of Israel, whom you have defied. This day the Lord will deliver you into my hand, and I will strike you down and cut off your head, and I will give your dead bodies to the host of the Philistines this day, to the birds of the air and the wild beasts of the earth, that all the earth may know that there is a God in Israel, and that this assembly may know that the Lord saves not with sword and spear, for the battle is the Lord's, and he will give you into our hand.'" So there's two big things about that victory, and I hope you guys got to see them. First, David didn't win the battle on his own. it said, and he specifically said that the Lord will deliver Goliath into his hand. That's why a young 13, 14, or 15-year-old was able to defeat a man that was 9 feet tall. Not because of his own strength, but because the Lord delivered him into his hand. And then secondly, that God doesn't save by sword, spear. He doesn't save by our own abilities. The battle is the Lord's. Now, kiddos, I want you to repeat that after me right now. Okay? You're going to say the battle is the Lord's. Ready? 3, 2, 1. The battle is the Lord's. Okay? That is one of the most important things to ever learn. That the battle is the Lord's. All right. But there's a problem. Goliath is not the only giant. There were several other giants. Actually, all these giants were called descendants of Anak, and they had allied themselves with the Philistines. And there was one called Saph or Saphi. He was just mentioned as a descendant of the giants. Then there was a giant with 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot. He had a total of 24 fingers and toes, rather than our just 20. And then there was Lemai, Goliath's brother. And all 3 of these you can find out about in 2 Samuel 21, 18 through 22. And a big thing about that was they followed in David's example. David's example led to his friends defeating more giants. David was the first, and he just opened the door for many others. So like David, your defeating of giants are going to be an example to other people. As parents, as we defeat our giants and we show that to our kids, that we can defeat giants, they will take that into their lives. And as the kids do that to their giants, they will show that to other kids. And it's amazing how that how that has such an effect on people as time goes on. So finally, in facing your giants, okay? Remember, David didn't defeat Goliath on his own. We can't defeat giants on our own, okay? You need to trust God that we can defeat the giants that we face. Trust him and do what he says. And then remember that one thing I told you guys to repeat. I'm going to see if you guys remember it. 3, 2, 1. The battle is the Lord's. Okay? That's a big thing. As you go into the rest of the summer and you got giants you've got to face, remember the battle is the Lord's. All right. Yes, let's get all the kids up here and up to the bottom of the stage here. Every kiddo. Come on up, over there, over here. Not on the stage. You guys, right to the bottom of the stage. Bottom of the stage. Jaden. Thank you. Bottom of the stage, right down there.
Goliath was a man who stood very tall. David was a boy who was but small. Goliath wore armor and fought with a sword. David's armor was his faith in the Lord. One stone slung just by David's faith knocked the giant down, put him in his place. When the army saw what David had done, they turned on their heels and began to run. Swing, 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 you don't have to be afraid. With God on your side to open up your eyes, you can be brave, brave, brave.
was a boy who knew right from wrong. Goliath bullied people using his size. David chose faith, and that choice was wise. Swing, swing, swing. You don't have to be afraid. With God on your side to open up your eyes, you can be brave, brave, brave. Swing, swing, swing. You don't have to be afraid. With God on your side to open up your eyes, you can be brave, brave, brave. One stone slung just by David's faith knocked the giant down, put him in his place. When the army saw what David had done, they turned on their heels and began to run. Swing, swing, swing. You don't have to be afraid. With God on your side to open up your eyes, you can be brave, brave, brave. Swing, swing, swing. You don't have to be afraid. With God on your side to open up your eyes, you can be brave, brave, brave. With God on your side to open up your eyes, you can be brave, brave, brave.
All right, and at the beginning of every meeting this year, we would do the Pledge of the Allegiance and the Pledge to the Awana flag. So, can we bring our flags up? Remember to loudly say 3, 2, 1. Remember to loudly say 3, 2, 1. Okay, say, can everybody rise?
Can everybody rise?
Can everyone rise? All right, ready, Johnny? Say hand on your heart.
Hand on your heart.
Okay, and then count down.
3, 2, 1.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Awesome. And we also did a pledge to the Awana flag, which I'm guessing many of you are not familiar with, so it's going to be right up there. All right.
3, 2, 1.
I pledge allegiance to the Awana flag, which stands for the Awana clubs, whose goal is to reach boys and girls with the gospel of Christ and to train them to serve Him. All right, calm down. All right. And all of them? I thought we were going to go one group at a time. Okay. Next, we want all the kids back up here. Do the Awana song. No, on right below the stage.
Like right here?
That's fine. Yep.
We're not supposed to go up there.
Yeah, stay there. Stay on that step. Oh, we're good. They're good. Okay, we're going to do the Awana song. Everybody remember it?
Yeah.
Okay.
1 second.
All right. And along with the pledge, we would also do the Awana song. Okay, kiddos. Let's go stand over here. Stand on the stairs. Nope. On the stairs. Here, right over there, Luke. There you go. Stay right there. All right. And ready? 3, 2, 1. Firmly Awana stands, led by the for you. Hail Awana, holding forth the truth, building lives on the word of God. Awana stand, our Savior following, with steps unfaltering, and love unaltering. His praise we sing, His banner over us, in service glorious, we'll fight victorious for Christ our King. Youth on a mission! On the march. Did I say on a mission? I did it wrong. All right. And now we're going to have the presentation of club awards. The first awards we're going to have are the Cubbies. So if we could get the Cubbies director here. Do you need the clicker?
I think I'm going to need a... No, I don't have it. Just the mic.
Yeah, we got it right here.
Yeah, in a moment. I'm going to do the first part. Okay, who am I? I am the Cubbies director. Took this over this year, first time. I work with kids a lot, so this wasn't too big of a change, but it's different kids and a different time of the day when they're a little more grumpy because they're tired. So that was new. This is my son, Lachlan, who is a Cubby in training. So he's up here with me because since the very beginning, he's been in every single class with me, almost like this. So here we are. Sorry. I'm going to introduce my Cubby leader, or my assistant leader over here, Vanessa Rotoni. Without her, I could not do this. No. She thinks I'm Superwoman, but I'm just a person. So we are going to kind of describe our typical Cubby day. Our typical day would start with bringing all the Cubbies into the class. So we're going to bring all my Cubbies up here with me right now. Who are my Cubbies? I see some of them out there. Brianna, Eliza, why don't you guys all come over here so we can be together and get pictures together in one area. So these are the majority of our Cubbies. Even another Cubby in training over here too. So a typical day would be we go to the back for the opening ceremony, and then we go to class, and we start with our Cubby song. So we should do our Cubby song. You guys ready? This is their favorite part, probably, of the day. So we're going to do it. You guys ready?
Gummies! We are Awana Cubbies. We're happy all day long. We know that Jesus loves us. That's why we sing this song. We hop because we're happy, and we jump and shout for joy. For Jesus is a friend to us. He loves each girl and boy.
So you can see that song is short and sweet. But these kids love it so much, we do it again. All right, guys, you ready? One more time.
Gummies! We are Awana Cubbies. We're happy all day long. We know that Jesus loves us. That's why we sing this song. We hop because we're happy, and we jump and shout for joy. For Jesus is a friend to us. He loves each girl and boy.
Yay! Okay, so what would we do next? No, stay up here. Stay up here. Don't leave me. So what would we do again? Next, we would do the song again. We're not going to. But in class, we do it 3, 4, even 5 times because that's how much they want me to play it. And if it's up to them, we would do it again. So after that, we move into our puppet show. We do our puppets, who we have Lovey Lamb, Cubby Bear, Katie the Collie, and those guys go on adventures with Timothy. Yes. And at the end, because they never like to say goodbye, we do 1, 2, 3 hugs. So everyone gets a 1, 2, 3 hug, and they move on to the next one. Because otherwise they wouldn't let go. That's correct. After that, we all sit down for a lesson, which we try to incorporate to make it more interactive for them. So sometimes I bring things into the class to help them learn by, like when we were learning about Jesus as a good shepherd, we would bring things in to do that, talking about the shepherd. Right now, currently, we are going through the honeycomb book. So, hi guys, and so after we do the lesson, they go to their game time, which they love to play games, and we try to bring in also help for them to do their verses, because some kids struggle with verses, and so we will bring in different ways to do the verses. We might do a game, and when it goes to like a song, we might play a song, and then when it stops, the kids will say the verse together. After we do our games, we go back in, and all the kids take turns doing their verses while they have a snack. And then after that, it's pretty much over, and you guys pick up your kids. So the next thing we're going to do is hand out certificates, which I'm going to give to my very nice leader here, because I need more than one hand. Our first certificate is for Addison Walters. The next one is for Braddock Chinea, who is not here. He's my son because he's sick home with Dad. So I'll just take that on his behalf. I am so hot. The next certificate we have is for Brianna Collins. Our next award is for Eliza Pleshy. They are always very happy for each other, which is a great thing. Our next award is for Jacob. We have one for Leilani. This girl loves to do her verses and usually is the very first one to do them every single week. Another award, a certificate for Luke. Here, get your certificate, bud. Who's next? Ritz. We have a certificate for Marcus. Ooh. He was up. Oh, there. Marcus! There is a certificate for Ritz, which is Vanessa's son. And finally, we have one for Rocky, who is Ritz's brother. Rocky is he is also a cubby in training. Why don't you guys all get together for a picture with the certificates? Squeeze in. Come a little closer, show you. Hold them up. Not quite done yet, but that's okay. Come over, guys. We have a couple more. Now, our honeycomb book has 21 verses for the kids to memorize. And some of the kids have taken the time to memorize all 21 verses, and I would like to to let you guys know who those kids are. We are going to give the Honeycomb Award Medallion to the kids who have completed the 21 verses. The first award, or medallion we have, is for Addison Walters. You'll have to put it on him up. The second Cubby medallion we have is for Leilani. The third Cubby medallion is for Ritz. And the last medallion is for my son, who's also not here. So I will take that award or accept it on his behalf. So that is our Cubbies in a nutshell. At the end of that class, you guys would pick up your kids, and so that's where I would now leave the stage.
All right, my name is Lisa NK, and I've had the privilege of leading the Sparks class this year, and Patrick Linden has been assisting in our class. And he's been a big help, and we have some very active kids, so he's helped a lot in that, and he's very good at drawing and illustrating for our lessons to help just give another way to teach the kids. And so let's see, our day typically looks like we start off in the main room, and then we stay there and we do a game. And the kids really love Sharks and Minnows, but we've done a few other games like Four Corners and Statue in the museum, and they're really excited to try lots of different new games. And then we go back to our classroom and we do our Spark song and our lesson. And our lessons have ranged from, we started at the beginning in Genesis going over creation, and then Adam and Eve and the introduction of sin and our need for a Savior. And we followed the Israelites out of Egypt to the Promised Land. And then we ended the year learning about Paul and then talking about what it means to be godly versus ungodly and the importance of grace. And then after our lesson, we'd have snack, and then we go over the verses that the kids have been practicing in their books. And let's see, there are 3 different books that the Sparks class has, because Sparks go from kindergarten all the way through 2nd grade, so they're in Sparks for 3 years. And these are the 3 different books. So Hang Glider is the first one, then Wing Runner and Skystormer. And in the books, they have different lessons and different verses that they learn. And then, so Sparks, go ahead and come up, and we'll do our Sparks song. Sure.
Sparks!
Okay, good job. And now I have some certificates to hand out. So the first one is for Adelaide Hoff, and her certificate is for being a prayer warrior. Whenever I ask if anyone wants to volunteer to pray for our class at the beginning of class or for snack, Adelaide is always the first one to volunteer, and she always has very sweet prayers to offer for our class. And then our next one is for Angel Conway, and hers is for being a friend to creatures great and small, because she's always a very good friend to everyone in our classroom, and she always has little animals that she loves bringing to class. And our next certificate is for Kara Collins, and hers is for being a Bible knowledge whiz, because she came into the class knowing so much, and I think we have all learned a lot from Kara about the Bible. And next we have Charlotte Hoff, and hers is for having a joyful spirit, because Charlotte is usually always smiling and happy and gets along well with everybody in class. And next is for David Sims, and his is for being a memory verse master. He memorizes verses really quickly, and he sometimes will have like 5 verses to recite in one day, and I'm just amazed at how well he can do at that. And next we have Jacob Baird, and his is for endless enthusiasm and energy, because he, from the beginning of class to the end, he always has lots of energy and loves participating in the games and all the activities. And then we have Jaden Nguyen. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. Jaden Wen, sorry. And his is for having a positive attitude, because he's always very friendly and willing to try the games that we do and everything. Then we have Josie Baird, and hers is for being young but mighty. She's the youngest in our group, but she is willing to try things, and she's done really well at learning the verses since she's been here. And our next one is for Cadence Walters, and hers is for having a great sense of humor. She always has a smile on her face and she's always making us laugh and just has a joyful spirit. And our next one is for Tom Pleshy, and he's also a memory verse master. He's great at memorizing his verses. And then we have Victoria Lebsack, and hers is for having a gentle spirit. She's always very soft-spoken, but she is very smart and willing to give things a try and does her best. And then our last one is for Zoe Yenke, and hers is for kindness. And she's always tries to be a good friend to those in our class. So great job, everybody. And we have a few other awards. So when the kids complete learning all their verses from the books, they get different medallions like the Cubbies. So we have, we have the Sky Stormer Frequent Flyer Pin, and let's see. Oops, sorry. Sorry. So we have one pin for David and one for Tom, and those are for after they complete a book, there's another little book they can go through, which is kind of like an extra credit, and so they both have completed those extra books, and so that's what those pins are for. And then we have the first book award medallion for Victoria. and she completed learning all the verses for her first book. And then David and Tom have also earned the Sparky Award Sculpture, and this is for completing all 3 of the Sparks books. Congratulations. So great job, Sparks. You guys have done a great job this year.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Brandy. I am the TNT leader or director. TNT means truth and training, or as Mike likes to call us, the explosives. If you were in our class, you'd understand that. So I'm going to invite my assistant, helper up here, Miss April Conway. So a typical day in TNT, we start out in the multipurpose room with all the other children. We go through our pledge and our song. Then we go to our classroom and we start with our song, which we'll do in a moment, and prayer. And then we go into like an introduction activity to kind of just a brief overview of the lesson that we're going to do. And then it's usually about 5 minutes, but it takes about 10, 15 minutes to get them back lined up again, because they get a little wild from that sometimes. So I'm going to invite all the clubbers up here for TNT. And we're going to do our theme song here. There you are. The boys have threatened me that they're not going to do the song, but at least I have the girls here. usually a lot more animated than that in class. So once we've done that and our introduction activity, we go into our lesson, which usually about 25, 30 minutes. And then any kids that want to get their verses checked off to complete their book will do so. I'll go in that in a little moment as well. And then we go to games. They love games. Any games that involve running or kind of destroying each other, that's their favorites. Yeah. Yeah, Kelson kind of usually leads all the games. So anyhow, we have some certificates to hand out. I'll have Miss April help me here with that. So the first one is for Antonia Conway. That is Miss April's daughter. Good job. Next one is for Bonnie Linden. Good job, Bonnie. This is someone who kind of joined us later on in the year. Colton Baird. There he is. Come on, Colton. Next is for Jace Hoff. Kyle Wynn. Good job, Kyle. And we have Miguel Miranda, or as he always announces his name as Joe Biden. Whenever they say their names to the new kids, one of them has to be Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So, yeah. Then we have Sam Pleshy. Tatiana Akers. She's still in there still. She kind of came later in the year. Then we have Brittany Eriks. And Kelson Walters. Paisley Chinea. Paisley is my niece, for those who don't know. And then we actually have another one who just joined us about 2 weeks ago, Genevieve. So I didn't have one quite yet for you. Okay, and we have a couple of other awards to hand out. This next one is our TNT Award Medallion. You have to have completed the entire book, which is a total of 27 verses to do so. You have to do the section and say the memory verse, but also what the memory verse means. You can't just memorize it. So we have a couple of awards. The first one is for Brittany Eriks. Good job, Brittany. The next one is for Kelson Walters. And our last medallion is for Paisley Chinea. Then we have those who actually not only did the section and the memory verse, but they went on to do the silver section, which is a whole nother area they have to do in the book, plus recite the last week's memory verse too. So we have a few of those, and they earn their silver badges for or patches for their t-shirts. First one is for Brittany Eriks. Kelson Walters. And then Paisley Chinea. So the book is broken down into 4 sections, so these kids have completed all 4 sections of the silver section in there. So good job, guys. And then we'll invite the track leader up here. Good job, guys. Picture.
Oh, get together. Yep. All right, and nice to see you all again. It's been a long time, but I am the Trek leader. I had a very small group in Trek, so I didn't have an assistant, and I ended up joining myself back at the beginning of February, and it's been a joy to go through Trek with our kiddos. One of the things with Trek is they're a little bit older, so they go through the Bible in a bit differently than everybody else. They actually started doing inductive Bible studies, trying to ask questions about the scripture. Their books themselves would have not just a verse to memorize, but they would have an entire week of devotions for them to go through. And so by the end of this, they would have gone through 28 weeks of devotions. And I wasn't there for all of it, but my son was. And he got to go through those for the entire time. And our day was pretty straightforward. After coming into class, we would get down and go through our inductive Bible study through the scriptures, usually through a chapter or part of a chapter in the book of Acts, as we get to go through and see about how the gospel is spread throughout Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the other parts of the earth. And we got to finish up with Paul, so that was really, really cool. With that said, can I get everybody who's in Trek up here? Thank you. All right. And most of the people here in Trek have been here only for a few months. They joined us in March or in April or at the beginning of May. And so we haven't been here that long, but they each have showed some great understanding and some great learning. So my first certificate is given out to Erica here. Erica has the best jokes. If you ever want to get a knock-knock joke, go to Erica. There you go. Good job. All right. And then Emma joined us in April. And one thing I found out about her is she always brings the snacks. Oh my gosh, she always has like an extra snack. Okay, I want to share this with everybody. It's really cool. So thank you so much for your stuff, Emma. All right, and this one is for Jonathan. He has been thinking through the whole thing, and I've had him the longest. And so his was just being the best tinkerer. He would be able to tinker with everything, and even tinker with things in Scripture and think about them. There you go. All right. Now, Erica's sister couldn't be here. She's actually, I think, out of state. But Tabitha was really amazing in coming out of her shell. Whenever she started, she was afraid to say anything, even with our small group. But by the end of her time with us, she was talking and sharing her ideas throughout the entire thing. So that was really cool. Can you hold on to this for her? Thank you. All right, and then we have our 3 new guys. Our first gift or certificate is for Colden. And this one is for memorizing the most scriptures. And just that little amount of time, he's able to go back to what we did the week before, memorize, and just say those things very specifically. Okay. And our next one is for Keelan. Keelan, I always say it wrong. And Keelan has been the most thoughtful. Like, he asks the most thought-provoking questions as we do our inductive Bible study. If you guys don't know, an inductive Bible study is where you read the scripture and you come up with questions to ask about it. Then you try to answer those questions, and that's one of the things that we were doing. And so he came up with some of the most thoughtful questions ever. All right. And last but not least is Ashlyn. And the big thing that Ashlyn had done the whole time is just love her friends. She showed love to her friends, made sure everybody was able to share and to speak and everything like that. Thank you so much, Ashlyn. All right. So this is our Trek group, and I have one milestone award to give out to Jonathan. As I said, he was in the program all year. So he was able to go through all of our week's lessons through the whole Trek book. So this is for you, Jonathan. Congratulations. All right. Can you guys get close together so we can all take a picture? All right, there we go. And I'm going to get behind him. Put my hands on his shoulders and go like this.
All right, Trek, big cheese. Got to
Three.
see your faces up. There you go.
3, 1, cheese! Thank you so much, guys. Oh, get under your pants. Okay, America, hold you down. All right, I'll be back up in just a second for closing remarks. Oh, here, let me have that. Actually, to introduce Steve to you.
How soon they forget, huh?
Here you go, Erica. And let's. All right, and last but not least, we have Steve here to give out the awards for the leaders. Thank you. Erica.
Well, this was actually an amazing time. A little bit sad for me because I've been with Awana from it started for 5 years, and the Lord has called me somewhere else this year. So, and everybody knows me knows that the children are truly my passion. So, a little sad, but amazing time. This program is utterly something very, very special. We know the enemy is relentless after our kids. He's reached almost kamikaze-like attacks after our children. You can't turn on the TV, listen to a radio. They can't even go to school without Satan trying to throw giants in their face. We all know there really is no giants when you have the Lord. These kids are starting out with, they're surprised they didn't do their Awana verse. So the main Awana verse, which I love, is they teach all us adults. And the Awana verse is 2 Timothy 2:15. We can all learn something from this. Be diligent to present yourself approved to God, a worker who does not need to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. And they just set the example for us. And what was really special, to be a teacher of the youth, the time it takes and the love it takes, is what we have to really, really remember. And the Lord spoke through 3, Matthew, Mark, and Luke. It's pretty amazing when the Lord speaks, when it's told in 3 stories. My favorite is actually Mark 10. Then they brought the little children to him that he might touch them. But disciples rebuked those who brought them. But when Jesus saw it, he was greatly displeased and said to them, let the little children come to me and do not forbid them, for such is the kingdom of God. For the children are the kingdom. They are examples. And for these teachers to come forward and devote their time, because that's the future. And we have to protect that future. And one of the major verses we have in our youth program, again, is to teach us adults. And I have 5 minutes, so I was trained by Greg, so I'll try to fit it in there. So Jeremiah 1:7 is a verse that we picked as the children get older to set the example for all us adults. That is Jeremiah 1:7. But the Lord said to me, do not say I'm a youth, for you shall go to all to whom I send you, and whatever I command you, you shall speak. And if the children can do it and they have that youth, then there's no reason we can't. They set the example. And we have some amazing, the Lord has put a vision on Calvary Chapel, a calling on us here in Rapid City, in our little part of the body. And these teachers, these assistants, you parents have answered that calling. You can just look around how big this program has grown this year in 2023. So I'm going to call each teacher up and their assistant. I'm going to ask them to stay up here so we can get pictures afterward, okay? So we have our Cubbies leader, Annette Janae. And Annette's story, you got to ask her the story, how I actually convinced Annette to join Awana is amazing. Huh? Pulled. I had to actually get her sister, Brandy. So she's just amazing. Annette has now got her 5-year service pin. Annette, I said, these teachers is why the Lord has called me somewhere else, because they have taken this program to someplace I would never have taken it. So they are amazing. I also want to bring up her assistant, Vanessa Rattoni. Another blessing to our church, their whole family. So Vanessa, you get your 1-year service pin. Thank you. You guys have been such a blessing. Like I said, back last year, I went to Pastor Reagan, our leader, and said, a vision came in my heart, a calling that Calvary Chapel, the Lord is just going to explode this church with the Spirit. And he's brought so many people. And if you guys know in this church, we are growing spiritually. It's just an amazing thing. And it's thanks to, like, and of course, Daniel, her husband. So can't forget him. So next we're going to bring up our cubbies. And that would be Miss Amber Pleshy. Oh, wait. It's out of order here. That's your parent helper. I'm sorry. Miss Amber, where's she here? Come on. And her helper pin. This amazing for her. We've got one more, Miss Annette, and that is for Katrina Lebsock. I will have to admit, her daughter has just got a little special place in my heart, too. So now we'll get to our Sparks director. Again, I said, just another example. The Lord was blessing Calvary Chapel with this family. We have Lisa Enke, the director. For Sparks. And her 1-year service pin. Then we have her Sparks assistant, Patrick Linden. I'll have to say, watching Patrick join us was an amazing time, because the man is going to walk an encyclopedia, really, with the Bible. Thank you. Now we're going to get to this one, Brandy Thurger. Without these two sisters, I don't know what we'd do. Yeah. Actually, it was Brandy that helped me pull her sister in. And this is her 4-year service pin. Then we have to have, again, another amazing family, the Conways. We have April Conway. She's also got her 1-year service pin. But April, reality, April's been a faithful servant to our children's ministry. What, 5-6 years you guys been coming? I mean, you will always see her with the kids. Sunday school, Awana, just an amazing time. And then we have the second half of the Enke family, Michael. 1-year service. I want to say something else. You know, this family, again, is another huge blessing. It's like so many others. Michael and them also took over the youth ministry program on Sunday, which has been amazing, just watching that start to grow again. So I want to thank all these teachers, assistants, all of you, because it wouldn't be possible without you. So I want to thank you all. Get in there, Patrick. Come on. My wife says I have to take my glasses off. Cheese. And here comes Michael to close us out, I think.
Oh, I got this. All right, everybody. We just have one thing left to do before we close. I want to let you know about a few things. The first is during the rest of the summer, we are not closing our children's program. Why do I get the feeling that nothing's there? We're fine. We're fine. Ah! Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Mr. Covey, you're scaring me so much. All right. I want to say on your way out, please shake Mr. Covey's hand. He's going to be right out by that exit. All right? I expect all of you kiddos to shake his hand. Can I trust you to do that? No. You can hug him too. But remember, it's got to be quick because there's a lot of kids. All right. During the summer, our children's program is not ending. For this summer, we have a special program going on. It's called His Story. And it'll be coming out this summer. It's a 12-week program where we go through stories in the Old Testament and we see how they're about Jesus and how they show us about Jesus and who God is. So I can't wait for us to start that next week. If you'd love to volunteer for it, it would be so cool to have some more volunteers come in. We're hoping to have different 3-week kind of blocks of people coming in and doing that. In addition to that, we've got Hills Alive coming up. I am doing the balloons, and I'm going to be leading in making balloons for the kiddos and stuff. So it would be great for you guys to join us and volunteer with that. And then finally, our next year's Awana's program starts in September. So be prepared for that. We will start in September and end in June, just like we have this year. With that said, on your way out, there is ice cream and cake, I believe, in the fellowship hall. So as long as you're listening to your parents, I think you guys can head out there and get one. Last thing I want to do is let's close in prayer. So hands together, knees apart, eyes closed. Father, thank you so much for your love and grace and for the salvation and hope we have in you. Thank you for Awanas and just the joy we get to have in friendships and just in the relationships that we've developed and growing to know your word. It's been great to get to know some students myself, and oh Lord, help us all to grow in your love and in your knowledge for the rest of the summer and on to next year. In your holy and awesome name, amen. Oh, and I do want to thank the media team for helping us to make sure all of this is running well and getting rid of every virus.